Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included, our Let's Play series, episode 52. Let's get right down to it. So, we're cracking into space here. And we want to start shielding ourselves from the effects of meteors if we can. I think this area will be fine for now. But we want to kind of tile off this area. And we're going to tile off, of course, with bunker. Is it here? Yeah, bunker tiles. We're going to use our steel right here and bunker off this area. And we are also going to work on setting up our dock for our exosuits. That way guys can go and work out here without worrying too much about oxygen and whatnot. We're going to need to set up a sort of oxygen generation facility, ultimately. Or some way of pumping out oxygen into these places, but that shouldn't be too hard. We've got pretty good oxygen diffusion just kind of on our own up here, and as we expand out this area for what is ultimately going to be our vacuum pumps, it'll improve it even more. So let's just do a little bit of housekeeping here. Let's get this ladder right here, and can these not be deconstructed? Apparently not. Okay, that's fine. We're probably just going to have our drop-off be something like right here for the vacuum tube station. Just shoot right up here. And I think we want to start just clearing that path as much as possible. So, whoops. Deconstruct is what I meant to do. Deconstruct this, and we'll eventually dig through here. This is all, there's a little bit of CO2, but no chlorine at this point. Okay, that's fine. Dig out through here. I think we can disable this whole apparatus at this point. So deconstruct, deconstruct, deconstruct. Yeah, this is fine. And then we will dig out these. No bleach stone, or there's a little bit of bleach stone in here, but that's fine. I think we're going to be good with all this stuff. We'll just disable this stuff for now. Let's not disable this. We'll let that keep running. And we won't disable this at the moment. We'll wait till this gets... Wait till it runs out of power and this finishes running. Okay. They're cooking along as fast as it can. Let's rearrange some of our cooling here. We're going to uproot, uproot. We will uproot here as well. You're going to uproot here and uproot here. And we're going to take a lot of these wheezeworts that we have sort of around the base that are cooling areas that are already cool enough, and we are going to move them up to our new space headquarters, which will be somewhere up around here. We might want to expand this out a little bit. Not being able to build in this area is kind of a pain. But it's not absolutely critical at the moment. Let's just start normalizing the temperature of these areas over here. I think that'll be the plan. So, furniture, flower pots. Make them out of granite, why not? And let's just slap some down in useful-ish areas. What's the temperature like over here? This all looks fine-ish. Yeah, we probably want a little bit more cooling up around here. So let's go, how many? Let's just set them up around here. Yeah, I can't deconstruct these. We're going to build out this. Have these bunker tiles to keep this area safe, which is pretty important. We might need to bunker up this area, but we're probably digging out a lot of this, so it's a little bit more critical that we get that done. And yeah, we are going to airlock off this. We are going to set up for ourselves atmosuit checkpoints, pump oxygen up into here, and be good to go. Let's start planting some wart seeds up here. And one over here. Alright, cool. That'll help keep that area cool. And we're just going to cool down some of the area in between that as well, because we might end up using that. Creating a large temperate area. That's the goal. Okay, so that's getting built. How are we doing back here in Slicksterland? These Slicksters are all happy, right? Yeah, they've been groomed. They're sitting pretty. None of them feel cramped. Alright, great. They're slowly consuming all the CO2 that we have here. So maybe it's time to shut off this high-pressure gas vent. Seems like a plan. And maybe actually just replace the high-pressure gas vent with a high-pressure gas vent right around here. That seems like a better idea, actually. So let's do that. Ventilation, gas pipe, igneous rock is fine. Yeah, and we're just going to set up a, we'll make it a high pressure one right now. Doesn't really need to be one, but it's fine if it is. Just so we aren't pumping stuff unnecessarily down to here. This already has a lot of CO2 in it. We'll be fine. We want to keep the CO2 level for these Slicksters at a reasonable point. And we also don't want these temperatures to, the colder temperature natural gas to get down here. I think that's also fairly important. So we're going to set up our little area there. We've dug out this carbon dioxide vent, which will start raising temperatures in the area, but will also just sort of help with producing some CO2 for our Slicksters. Yeah, keeping all this managed I think is important. At this point we have so much plastic that maybe it's time to just consider shutting off some of these plastic facilities. I could believe that. I could also believe just chugging along. Plastic's going to be used for a lot of things. A lot of things coming up here. Okay. So we have all this plastic tile set up. We have these bunker tiles set up. Now I think we want to concern ourselves a little bit with our oxygen generation. And how do we want to tackle that? So there is space exposure in this area. So maybe we just want to airlock off this and start digging out some of this area, which we will use to store oxygen and supply our atmosuit checkpoints and atmosuit docks. So, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much everything above around here is space exposure. Yes. Get a little bit not space exposure right here. Okay. Sure. Let's put the oxygen actually right here. I think is a good plan. Temperature of this is fine. They'll be able to dig through it reasonably well. Yeah, we'll set up our oxygen generation here. Maybe that seems a little bit backwards. To have them go out through here first. No, I think I'm fine with it. Okay. Let's set up plastic ladder. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, potentially 9 spots right here. And then dock, door. I think we can get away with 8 spots. So if we set up base, tile, just make it out of granite, I suppose. And we set up a door here, and we have our checkpoint here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I'm fine with just 8 spots here. We will set up a manual airlock. Iron's fine with me. And then we will set ourselves up a ladder right here. Make it out of plastic. We're going to have it go up and also take care of this area down here. Yeah, let's dig it down even further. So they're going to have to haul some plastic up here, but that should be fine. And we will then say that we want a bunch of drywall back here as well. Utilities, drywall, igneous rock. Yeah, and let's just start clearing out this area for use. And I think we will put basically just 2 oxygen tanks, one right here, one right here, and we will pump in oxygen into these areas. Does that sound good? 5. Yeah, that'll look fine. It'll be a little bit weird, but it won't be too weird. I think maybe we will also just set up this area. Yeah, this looks fine. We can expand this out a little bit when we want to. Oxygen, oxygen, wall. Yeah, okay, this should be good. And while we're at it, let's just start digging out some of this area. It's possible that we want to be using this mafic rock, actually, as our drywall. I would believe that. Yeah, slowly getting this filled with oxygen. We can see it start to filter around here. And then we create these kind of high pressure areas just with these Wheezeworts artificially. Alright, that's going on. This is at 88%. We'll wait till this finishes and then we will get that done. We never set up anything here. I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, we're just going to have this oxygen diffuse up here. We have so much of it. So how are we doing on edible? We have a ton of fried mushroom. Everyone's eating fried mushroom at this point. That's fine. Idle dupes. How do I have idle dupes? I have so much work to be done. Okay. Still none of those to go for. These slicksters need work. Need some ranching done. I think one of the next things we want to do is we just want to dig out this and try and connect the CO2 being produced here ultimately with the CO2 that we're going to have over here. Let's hold off on a little bit of it for now because we have a lot of oxygen down here as well, but ultimately that's going to be a goal. Idle dupes. How am I getting idle dupes? How do I have idle dupes when I have all this work set out over here? Oh, because this fell. Alright. Fair enough. Get that mined out, would you? In fact, we're going to need to worry about that in a number of places, I think. Shovevol, huh? How did you get in my base? I don't particularly want you in my base. Yeah, I don't like these Shovevols getting in my base. So maybe we just wrangle this guy and yeah, let's increase the priority on this wrangle. And we'll set up like a critter drop-off point for Shovevols somewhere here. I don't particularly care where. We can set them up like right here, I guess. That's fine. I don't really want the Shovevols there. In fact, I don't even know if I like Shovevols in general. Do I want Shovevols? You know what? Maybe maybe just kill this guy. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't want you. Oh my god, he's getting around. All right, whatever. You're off and about. you can do that. The shovels are just problematic. They're not things that I really... Like, they maintain a sort of equilibrium in space, but you definitely don't want them in your base. Okay. None of these guys. Reject all. How are we doing back down here? This level is continuing to fall. And we're slowly going to develop some temperature problems. They can survive in 50 degrees. That's fine. But they're going to need the CO2. That's rather important. We're kind of splitting our CO2 here. That's fine. Okay. Let's go back up here. Where are we at? They're slowly building up this. Let's dig up this regolith as it falls. And I think this is all area that we want to have with drywall as well. Man, shovels. Oh, I still just don't want this guy. You know what? If we see him, kill him. That simple. I don't want him around. I want him messing with my base. You see him, kill him. Alright. Utilities, drywall. Start making this out of mafic rock. We don't particularly care. It's thermally reactive. What are the properties of mafic rock again? I don't work with this stuff very often. Low specific heat capacity. Okay, sure. Iron-rich variation of igneous rock. Can I get iron from this? Let's go down to like our rock granulator. Let's check out our database. Critters, plants, elements. Is mafic rock. What can I do with mafic rock? My soft, usable as a construction material. Okay. Yeah. There's no option to turn mafic rock into iron in any way, shape, or form. None of this. Alright, yeah, I don't care about mafic rock. We're just going to use it to make some drywall here. Oops, wrong tab again. Drywall. Mafic rock. Get this settled. And I suppose while we're at it, no, we're gonna build stuff here. All right, let's cancel this. Okay, so setting up our space location now. We're going to have oxygen reservoirs here. We're going to pump oxygen probably just from around here. Seems fine to me. We can figure out a more long-term solution later. Let's, while we're at it, get drywall behind. I've already used up pretty much all the mafic rock. That's fine. Drywall behind these ladders. Looking good. Okay. And we will set up some plastic tile right across here. Perfect. So we're going to set up this location, and we're going to use it to do our research. We're going to set up some solar panels, and basically get all of our space stuff up and going. We're going to need to dig out a lot of this regolith at some point, but not in a rush. We can hold off on space stuff a little while. and be perfectly fine. We eventually want to change these out to like pneumatic or the what's it called? Mechanized airlocks. Yeah, because the mechanized airlocks will go faster once we have them powered, and we will set up some sort of power solution up around here as well. Until then, what sort of tile do I want to use here? Granite's probably fine. Yeah, I think I'm fine slapping down some granite tile around here. We're going to set up our little space area here. Bunker tile on top, plastic tile beneath. Stuff that needs exposure to space, of course we won't put bunker tile on top of, but everything else. How we're doing air-wise? Yeah, this is all still starting to fill up. We're losing a little bit every time these things open, but we can deal with that. Stress, some stress. We'll live with that. Okay, I think we've made pretty good progress. We're starting to get our space stuff up and running. We've got a little extra area for our slicksters, which will eventually turn into a more permanent area once we've kind of got things settled around here. We've got this CO2 venting a little bit more CO2 for our guys to use. We really just need to worry about the level of this air right now, and making sure that our guys don't run out of the CO2 that they need. Are these guys cramped now that there's an egg here? They are not. Okay. So yeah, setting up some sort of air filtration system to capture this natural gas and replace our coal usage up here with natural gas seems like the next big order. We also want to start setting up our glass production. Our glass production is going to be necessary for our solar panels. And yeah, I think messing around a little bit more with the industrial area, right, is going to be the next order of the day. Probably building out a little bit further here, just kind of mining out this area, creating a new thing is how we're going to accomplish that. All right, I will see you guys in the next episode, and until then, have a nice day.